Welcome to the 31st Annual Governor's Arts Awards. This event is honoring our 2012 Governor's Arts Award recipients, and I want to thank all of you for being here this evening with us to celebrate the arts in Wyoming. It is my pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies for this evening, Mr. Millward Simpson, the Director of State Parks and Cultural Resources. Millward?
Welcome, everyone, to the 31st Annual Governor's Arts Awards. It's such an honor and privilege to participate in this event every year that brings us all together to celebrate the talent and creativity of our citizens. And what these recipients tonight have in common is an uncommon devotion to the power of artistic expression, to helping others achieve that power through education, and to bringing the power of expression that the arts inspire to our citizens and our communities. And so we're in for a real treat this evening. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're truly fortunate in Wyoming to have a governor and first lady who support the arts and support the creativity expressed by our citizens throughout the state. And at this time, it's my great honor and privilege to introduce to you our great governor of the great state of Wyoming, the Honorable Matt Mead.
Next award goes to Jalan Crossland. He is one of Ten Sleep's notable residents, a country boy who still calls Ten Sleep home, a songwriter who puts his wry wit into his songs about 21st century rural life, a recording artist who performs around the country and around Wyoming, dazzling audiences with his guitar playing and banjo finger-picking and his quirky tales. An award-winning musician, an alt-country music phenom whose new solo album is called, wait for it, Portrait of a Fish. The person whose band played for the launch of Wyoming Whiskey in Kirby last year, and I was there, and I would say, good drink, good music. And he will be entertaining us with a performance tonight. His talents and hard work have brought him success in the music business, and that's not easy to come by. And he's stayed true to his roots always of Ten Sleep. I had occasion to look at some of his songs and the lyrics, and anybody that can sing about tractors and rural life the way he does, most deserving. So please give a big hand, and let's watch the video.
This one by request from Jalan Crossland here on Wyoming Public Radio. I'll tell you a quick story about when I first saw Jalan. It was somewhat magical, quite comical. I was at Bighorn Mountain Festival in Buffalo, Wyoming. I'd just gotten to the festival my first time, and I see this guy jump off the stage. It wasn't quite dark, it was late afternoon, and it was almost like a Pied Piper moment. It was kind of a combination mountain stomp and conga line. Dirt was flying, and they were doing Bighorn Mountain Blues. He had a nice line of people that was basically following him around the festival grounds while the song was playing. Just a unique character here in Wyoming, and that translates through his music. You see people that see him for the first time, they go, whoa, who's this guy?
My name is Jalan Crossland, son of Frank Crossland, son of Joseph Johammed Crossland of the clan Crossland. My Uncle Dan he played banjo ever since before I was born, so I heard that clamor in my earliest memories of life. He's always probably been my biggest male influence, I think. And again, I was listening to him play the banjo in my very earliest memories of life, so the banjo was just always part of my experience. And as soon as I was old enough to start clambering around on it, he started showing me how to play it, so, and I still struggle today. Yeah, in the present version of the band, we got Sean Kelly's playing the bass, and he and I have been playing together about 7 years. And Pat Madsen's playing the drums. They've been real supportive, these guys. Sean's been my right-hand man on the left-hand side of the stage.
I met Jalan at a festival in his hometown of Ten Sleep, Wyoming, called No Woodstock. He always invites the musicians playing at the festival to come pitch a tent in his yard and play. The story I would tell is from the weekend that I met him at the No Woodstock Festival. The first night I slept in his yard, you know, it was just a great sing-along going on his front porch. His porch is pretty amazing. I mean, his porch is pretty much as big as his trailer is. I mean, it's covered in vines, and he's got a big sousaphone that's a lamp. I don't know, and just that scene on the porch was one of the first things that really attracted me to him. There's a chemistry, you know, that it's familiar to me the instant I start playing, and it just is really comfortable, you know.
Well, I've been to Nashville and Austin and all kinds of places, but there's nothing I really want in the big city except to visit and come back home to Wyoming, because this is home, and I have, you know, 4 generations of family here. Gosh, all the inspiration for the songs are here too. So, I mean, I didn't really choose Wyoming. It's just always, I like the banjo. It's just always been. So I don't want to go nowhere else.
Well, I think the first time I ran into Jalan was at the historic Occidental Hotel here in Buffalo, and you know, he was playing a concert. I think Jalan sometimes refers to him and his band as being the bottom country 40, you know, and it's hard to really pigeonhole his music as being country or folk or Americana.
And given that old school country and bluegrassy feel.
Well, Jalan, congratulations. There's no one more deserving for this award. I'm really proud to see you receive the Governor's Award this year.
It was quite a surprise. Actually, I knew that Margaret had nominated me a few months earlier, which was really sweet of her, and but I didn't expect to win it, so it's quite an honor.
Last summer, in Casper, I attended Nick Fest, which is an event put on by the Nick Layson Art Museum. So Jalan was performing as part of that, and as so often happens with Jalan's concerts, there was a gentleman standing by the stage, and he was totally absorbed in watching Jalan play, and I've seen that look so many times on the members of Jalan's audience, because his playing is so astonishing and it's so creative. When Jalan plays, it sounds like 3 people are playing the guitar at the same time. And it was that moment that I thought to myself, I'm going to nominate Jalan for the Governor's Arts Award because he's perfect for it, and he's really dedicated his life to building his career in Wyoming, and we're lucky for that.
Well, congratulations to my old buddy Jalan Crossland, who we call El Jefe in the band. I mean, it's much deserved. He's worked very hard. He continues to work very hard, despite all the rumors, to win something like this.
All right, congratulations, Jalan, on the Governor's Arts Award. Well deserved. From Ten Sleep, Wyoming, Jalan Crossland, here on Wyoming Public Radio.
Jalan, come on up.
Well, this is a tremendous honor, obviously. Where to even begin? When I'm your governor, there will be pot in every chicken. I've never given a speech in my natural life, but we'll see what we can achieve here. I've seen a lot of speeches on the Grammys, and so I'm gonna just pretend this is the Grammys, if you don't mind. Because this feels like the Wyoming Grammys to me. I feel like Paul McCartney right now. I feel like Wolverine of the X-Men when he woke up to discover he had been implanted with an adamantium steel skeleton and claws and could no longer be killed by immortal men. That's how it feels to be here tonight. So thank you, Governor Mead, and all my friends from the Arts Council, not only for nominating me for this award, but for all that you do to cultivate a fertile artistic environment in this state. I appreciate that. Let's see. Do these pants make me look Jewish? I'd like to thank the person responsible for my nomination, an overflowing cup filled with the very cream of human goodness, the lovely Margaret Benson. I love you, Margaret, and you have a heart so big it'll crush this town. Many of the successes and excesses of recent years could not have been realized without the contributions of my dedicated musical constituency. The recording engineer Dan Tinker, and my manager Ted Wagner, and bass player Sean Kelly. Thank you, gentlemen. I'd like to thank my Uncle Dan for foisting the banjo on me at a really young age. Knowing full well what it did to his life. I'd like to thank my stepdad, Bob Hinton, for helping me to build Boom Chicken Records Global Headquarters, a limited liability company. Do you say I'd like to thank my son and best friend, Dylan Crossland, for constant inspiration and for not trying the marijuana. I'd like to thank, my spiritual advisor, my border collie, Roscoe, who regretfully couldn't be here this evening because he was involved in the zen and the art of chasing feral cats from under my trailer. I'd like to continue by saying, I'd just like to say, sorry, that's wrong. You can't. And I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the person who has probably been the most supportive and offering the most encouragement to a life of musical endeavor and artistic endeavor in general. Since the very beginning, in times of woe and want and trial and tribulation and jubilation, an artist and writer herself. Thank you, Mom. I will always love you like a brother. It's with pride I call Wyoming my home. It's with gratitude I accept this award. With excitement and inspiration, I look to the future of making music with all my good friends here in Wyoming. And I guess I'll just end this up by saying, thank you, country music fans. Because without you and without country music, I don't think I could be singing country music today. Thank you.